Welcome back this morning. So the number of black eligible voters in the U.S. expected to reach 34.4 million by the November election. That's actually up 7% from 2020, and it's making black voters critical to determine the outcome of the presidential race. And this weekend, a Chicago pastor of a Woodlawn church is hosting a town hall to talk about the top issues impacting black voters. Joining us now is Dr. Byron Brazier, pastor of Apostolic Church of God. Thank you for joining us this morning.
It is my pleasure. Thank you.
Glad you're here. So we were just talking about the town halls you're having this coming Sunday. You have two being held simultaneously. What are you hoping to get out of these? What are you hoping that people get out of these?
The most important thing to remember is that this is an educational forum per se, so that black voters can actually not necessarily vote their grievances, but vote on the issues. It is really about how we ensure that our entire community, especially those who cannot vote, they're 10 or 11 years old, how do we ensure that they have a future? So our church really wanted to make sure, as a church body, that we address the issues that impact the lives of our children and our children's children. And the one way is how we are effectively engaged in the electoral process. That is one lever for our success. There are others. I mean, after we vote, we still have to do things, but this is one of the measures we can take, and having town halls, one 40 and above, and the other 40 and below, and then having them hosted by people that they know become very important. So Roland Martin is going to be the moderator of one, and then there's another young lady, her last name is Campbell, is going to be the moderator of the second of the younger. The Reverend Al Sharpton will be there. There'll be those from WVON, Hermine Hartman, and others, being able to voice their opinions about how we strategically vote, not just how we vote our grievance, because everybody has grievances. And there's no politician that is going to be effective for everybody. Yeah. So what is our interest? How do we refocus our attention on our collective interest? And we believe that will make a difference.
Speaking of that, historically most black voters are voting Democratic. I'm really curious, are you guys pushing a candidate? Or is this an educational, like you said, about the issues, and you're asking people to make their decision at that point?
It is educational. Okay. That is what we do as a church. And I've asked two of my close friends, pastoral friends, one in Atlanta and one in Detroit, to actually follow up in September and October and do the very same thing. Because the issues change, the momentum changes, and how we as clergy begin to engage in that educational electoral process becomes very important.
And one thing I want to touch on is the Pew Research Center looked at this, and 14% of eligible voters will be black voters. And 14% isn't that big of a number, but we know that getting out there to vote is so important. How do you get people, after you educate them, to actually get out and vote?
When people know, and they know what is necessary, and they know that this is absolutely important, then even when you've never voted and you say, I don't like to vote, I don't want to vote, it's not the ones that do vote, it's the ones that, they say, well, I'm just tired of voting, I don't think it's going to work, I don't think it suits me. If in fact you have children, you vote for them. You vote for their future. Other people voted for your future. Yeah. Now we have to fight the own giants of our own time and not leave them to our children and our children's children. Yeah, well said. Dr. Byron Brazier, pastor of Apostolic Church of God, thank you so much for taking time to be with us. I do want to note that those strategic voting events, the town halls, will happen at your church at Apostolic Church of God this Sunday, August 18th, starting at 6 p.m. and all are welcome? All are welcome. All are welcome. All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. We appreciate you being with us.